what's up. There's a yard machine with a motor that's usually found on a Cub Cadet. It's 139cc OHV. I'm just going to call it a Cub Cadet. It's exactly the same thing that you would find on a Cub Cadet, even down to the choke lever. It's even yellow. But it's on this yard machine. It's a simple machine. It is a publicly used machine for a public area. And one of the people needs me to work on it. Two things. I need to replace the little handle. It's not a problem. But the main problem is this guarantee right here is not working. You can pull on the choke, nothing. You can pull without the choke, nothing. I have yet to test that, so I think we should at least do that. I'm kind of apprehensive on publicly owned machines because they usually are not maintained at all. And the person that uses them, unless it's the same person over and over again, may not know how to use it. Yeah, full of oil. Not great, but full. It's already a bonus. I did check the fuel. It is in there. It does smell a little tangy, but let's find out. I've had real big problems with these having valve issues. How's compression? Let's pull the choke, which looks like it already was. Oh. See what I mean? I think we might be dealing with a valve issue in addition to potentially a carb problem. So let's just turn the cleaner on. I'm not even going to attempt to throw anything down the throat because if it is a carb problem, or excuse me, a valve problem, I don't want to run it with that. I should put a block or something underneath. Even though it's not wanting to start, we're going to pull this. You know what, I'm going to take that cover off too, make it a little easier for me. Like I said, I get a lot of these problems with these engines. Almost every Cub Cadet I ever come across, I have to do this too. It's 410mm. I also have it propped up because I don't like the cylinder to be level. Can run the risk of dumping out a good portion of oil. So the front is just on a block. This should have a gasket, not CRT or compound. At least I hope not. RTV, there we go. CRT, yeah. Wow. I've also had a lot of overheating issues with these. I'm not really sure why. Okay. I'm going to take the plug out to make this easier. So we're not fighting anything. Oh, looks like we're going to have company here soon. Ooh, that is black. Like I said, publicly owned. put a clamp so this is 139. I guess majority of the Cub Cadets are 159. So I couldn't really find too much info on this, but oh well. We're gonna do 4,000s. It feels a little bit more than 4,000s. What is that? That is the exhaust, I think. Yeah, the exhaust. So that was almost perfect at 8. So that's too much. We need to adjust that back down to probably 4. Let's get this cracked loose. A little hard. Don't like having to do that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, it could be 6, but considering the size of this motor, I think 4,000s is gonna be plenty good. Too loose or too tight will keep it valve from going down, and it could cause it to burn. Feels pretty good. So that's bad. Too loose like what we have, it's going to cause it to kick back on you. Especially the exhaust, because the exhaust is usually the one that has the compression release. So if your exhaust is too open, you can be potentially having to pull against the full compression of the engine. That's never fun. And you can get what we had happen to us. It's not pleasant. I usually do this a little loose, because usually when you tighten these styles, it gets tighter. Like that's way too tight. That's why I hate this style. I don't understand why this is a style at all. So that's still loose. Try this again. The outside's a 14 millimeter, by the way. Oops. There we go. Has to be pretty snug. You don't want to overdo it though. It's probably a torque spec, but as long as you don't overdo it, you'll be fine. Now that's a little bit too loose. These things, I tell you, I'm gonna keep doing that. Got it so it's pretty good. There's some drag on there, not too much. It's tight, so we're good to go. Let's try the other one. Oh, I see the compression release is not working. The reason why I do not do top dead center is it's really hard to kind of get it exactly there. And if you're off a little bit and you do have a compression release and it's at all engaging, you can have a little bit of a problem. So I just go, one valve is completely down, the other one's in the literally have no anything there to cause it to be engaged at all. Like the cam is not going to be anywhere near in time to do that. So it's the safest way, in my opinion. But just by touching this, that's too tight. So we have too tight on fuel and too loose on the exhaust. So let us try to fix that, shall we? We're going to see if we can cheese this one. I don't think we will. No, we're not going to be able to cheese that. What I mean by that is if you can just loosen the back one and take the other nut with you, then sometimes you can do a quick and dirty, keyword dirty, valve adjustment. Yeah, those were tight. Tightening is lowering and loosening is increasing the gap. I'm not going to use the impact for tightening that down. That's not a good idea. Of course. A little bit looser because we had a real hard time last time. I go off on a little bit of a rant. I do not like these engines, like at all. Every time I get one, it's always this exact problem. You know there has to be a reason for it. Why every single one has this exact same problem. I can't tell you how many times I've had people tell me they've hurt their hand trying to start one of these. Feels pretty good. Okay. So let us put the cover back on, put the plug back in, and then I'm going to put you over there and see if we are now able to get this started. See if that worked. Kind of leaning towards no, but you never know. Take the clamp off, choke on, and then pull it slowly first. I don't know why, but this engine just always feels clunky to me. There's, I don't know, something about it. Just hearing it run too just sounds weird. I don't know. Not a fan. Thank you, dog. Well, there you have it. I'm going to try this one more time for giggles, and we'll do it again. Well, yeah, looks like we have a carb issue. I was so hopeful too we didn't have to do this, but no. I haven't turned on the cleaner. Usually when I do that, I don't have to use it. Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Okay, let's get a pair of clamps. Clamp the fuel line off over here. I can get a little room. I will say though, this is a meaty fuel line. It is thick. I don't know what the wall thickness is of it, but it's pretty good. I have to get out my medium fuel size clamps. There we go. Spacer. That just clips right off the top, like every other Honda-like carb. Turn the choke on. Makes removing it a lot easier. Okay, let's see what we have. Let's see what we have going on here. It's not a good sign when it's stuck. Yeah, it has some gooeys in there. Some black stuff that's completely plugged up the jet. With the exception of that black stuff, it's not really horrible in here. Surprising. I thought this was going to put up a lot more of a fight. And like I said, this is the exact same as the Cub Cadet. Let's put this in our goodie bowl along with that. So this doesn't have like a slot or anything, it just has like this little D carved out in there. If you just take a flathead and shove it in, you can spin it. I suppose you can actually get the legit tool for it, but nah. There we go. There is a jet in there, but I don't know if I want to take it out quite yet. I probably should. Actually, I don't think I can. I think it's like clipped in or something. Well, I'm going to throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner. Got the carb out. Let's go ahead and put everything back together. Now I cleaned this out with a wire from a wire brush. There's a brass jet in there, so I do like that. I'm not really sure what the black stuff was. I looked at the bowl gasket, and it seemed fine. Fuel line doesn't seem bad, so I'm not really sure. But that seat is disgusting. So what we need to do is I'm going to take a drill, normal drill, take a Q-tip, put it in said normal drills, if I can get it aligned with the truck, or if I remember to turn it to forward. Oh my god. Why don't they have Q-tip friendly chucks? Put a little carb cleaner down there. Really bad ones, which this one might actually qualify for, we'll use some hand soap. Well, kind of soap. Yeah, that's looking pretty nasty. Wouldn't you know it? You know that orange soap that smells like oranges that you're supposed to take like grease off people's hands? I bought some, and I neglected to read on there that it was the non-grit type, so I'm not going to use that. So I put a little bit of valve grinding compound on the Q-tip. I'm just going to shove that in first so it doesn't go splatter everywhere. I know it's dirty, but we're going to clean it out, don't worry. Okay. After this, I'm going to look at a new truck. As much as I didn't want to have to go down the EcoBoost route, I think I might have to. Trying to find a Chevy is next to impossible, and I know no one's going to like to hear this, but I'm not a fan of Dodge. Nothing personal if you own a Dodge. Okay, just blew it out. Should be good to go. Just don't really like valve ticking. And I know you can prevent it, don't get me wrong. And I just don't really like the idea of the Hemi tick. That I'm pretty sure they're not making many more of them. Isn't there like another dual turbo version coming out anyways here soon? We're gonna blow on this one. Okay, that's much better. Perfect. Not that we didn't know it didn't seal before, we just don't know. Let's just say we were fairly confident that it was going to either give us a problem now or shortly in the future, and I don't like giving stuff back to people that potentially will have problems. Bowl, nice and clean. That's a little piece of something there. Blew that off. So, bowl seal on good. Looks like it. Perfect. Oh, are you going to be difficult too? There we go. Yes, don't do this, but I am. Do as I say, not as I do. Let's put this back on. Okay, everyone hold your breath. Choke is on. Choke off. You know what? I forgot to put the jet in. Attempt number 2. See what happens. Got all excited. Forgot to put a jet in. So there's smoke coming out of the muffler. There was a whole lot of oil in there, but it doesn't seem like the engine is really revving the right speed to begin with. I'm going to adjust it. It has a spring, but I think it's the wrong one. So I'm going to see what I can do to help increase this. There it is. Like I said, it doesn't seem like it's the right one. Mainly due to the fact that it's generally not right. But let's see here. I mean, technically, we're going to want to add more tension to it. So if we take it, bend that more. Bend it back first. At least semi back so I know where to start. Okay, well, you know what bending a spring looks like. It is actually the next day. Somehow the footage of me doing this the same day was corrupted. But it's about 6 o'clock. It's been sitting for almost 24 hours. Last thing that you saw, I should be bending that little spring. I did. It was a little fast, so I bent the bracket behind it, slowed it down. So it's running about 3,600 RPM. Well, let's go ahead and give this bad boy a start. Cold. Choke. Okay, there we have it. Runs good. It's no longer too slow. It was surging a little bit before, but that could be very well just the spring. Not really sure. Or it could have just been the fuel in the bowl. It didn't surge after I did it, so the governor can be real temperamental on these machines. But other than that, this was running. We are ready to go. Like I said, this is the exact same process for a Cub Cadet. So if you have a Cub Cadet or one of these yard machines, follow the same thing. If your engine's not starting, you should be set. Have a good rest of your day. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.